Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Dalai Lama, you felt it. Haven't you a sudden hush in a crowded room when you arrive? The way eyes linger a little too long, the uneasy shuffle of someone who doesn't know what to do with your presence. People offer a smile, others bristle. You're not imagining it. When a life carries uncommon clarity, it disturbs the comfortable fog around it. IT calls people higher, and calling people higher is rarely neutral. There's a name people give to that kind of life. They call it a chosen one. Not chosen to be above, but chosen to be awake. Chosen to carry a purpose, to speak with a steadier voice, to move with a cleaner intention. Chosen not by a committee, but by the tug you feel in the middle of ordinary days. Tug that will not let you waste your life. If you're listening to these words, you already know the rumors. You already know how some will draw near for warmth and guidance, and how others will shrink back, as if your steadiness exposes something fragile in them. You know, the admiration and respect. You also know the jealousy and resentment. You've seen both faces of the same mirror. Here's the promise of our time together. By the end, you will understand why people react so strongly to you, how to discern the signs that they've recognized your calling, and what to do with each reaction without losing yourself. You will learn how to protect your peace, how to answer with wisdom, and how to keep your heart free while your influence grows. Before we continue, drop a simple word in the comments section, present or I'm in, and subscribe if this resonates. Stay with me to the very end. I'll give you a short daily practice to anchor your energy and keep you aligned when the room starts stirring. First, let's name the strangeness. Sometimes the very first sign is an unexplainable dislike. No argument happened, no slight was offered. Still, a coldness hangs in the air. Your purpose is a quiet lighthouse, and light reveals both beauty and dust. When someone has been living comfortably with their dust, illumination can feel like accusation. It isn't, but it can feel that way. You carry a clear sense of direction, and clarity is confronting. Your certainty can make others question their own unfinished choices. Their restlessness looks for a target, and your presence is convenient, so they dislike you without cause. They invent reasons later. Remember this: their reaction belongs to their own interior weather. It's raining in them, not in you. Other days, the sign is simpler and almost comical: excessive staring. In the cafe, on the train, across the hallway. They don't even know why they're looking. Confidence is magnetic. Peace is magnetic. A life that is not jerking at every passing string draws attention because stillness is rare. You are not a spectacle, but you are a signal, and signals get noticed. When eyes linger, let patience be your first language. Don't fold yourself smaller to calm their discomfort. Don't perform to earn their approval. Let your posture say, I am safe to be around, and I am safe to be myself. The world reads bodies before it reads words. Another sign is imitation. People will borrow your phrasing and your pacing. They will mirror your mannerisms and your methods. It can feel like theft until you recognize it as testimony. Influence leaves. Fingerprints, and yours are beginning to show up on the glass. Celebrate the beauty of it, and then return to the work of being authentic. Your path is your responsibility. Their learning is theirs. Imitation brings a different temptation to become a brand instead of a soul. Resist it. Keep your edges human. Let your yes be honest and your no be clear. You can inspire without performing. You can lead without pretending to be perfect. A chosen life is not a manicured museum. It is a living room where truth can sit down. Confusion will also knock. People who sense your calling will ask questions that wander. How did you decide? How do you keep your center? How do you move through setbacks without losing your song? Their questions aren't prying, they're searching. They are trying to translate your inner clarity into their own language of action. Meet that curiosity with an open heart. Share what you've learned in simple sentences. Speak about attention. Speak about intention. Speak about the quiet decisions that add up over weeks and years. Offer a window, not a pedestal. The point is not to make them depend on you. The point is to help them hear their own inner teacher more clearly. Nervousness is another sign, and it might surprise you. Words get tangled. Hands fidget. Eye contact skitters away. The atmosphere buzzes with anxious static. This is not your failure, it is your influence. Your presence calls people inward, toward the places they've been postponing. That call can feel like pressure even when you offer kindness. So regulate the room with your breath. Slow your passy. Ground your voice. Let your calm lead, and people will borrow it. You're not shrinking. You're shepherding. This is part of your assignment to be a non-anxious presence in anxious spaces. As your presence settles, people will begin seeking validation. They'll ask, am I making the right move? Do you think this is the time? They trust your judgment, not because you are infallible, but because you are consistent. Consistency creates trust. Trust creates weight, and the weight of your words will increase with your integrity. Hold that weight carefully. Offer counsel with compassion, but return responsibility to its owner. Say what you see. Leave room for their choice. Encourage them to check their own conscience. Guidance is a gift. Dependence is a cage. You are here to build people, not to carry them. Then comes the obsession with your failures. Watch for it. Some will magnify your missteps, replaying them in whispers or headlines. They will prefer a short story about your stumble to a long story about your growth. Why? Because your progress asks them to examine their own. It is easier to point than to practice. Answer this temptation with clean humility. Acknowledge what is true. Repair what you can. Then keep moving. Your calling is not an escape from error. It is a way through it. You are allowed to be in progress. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to be forgiven and to begin again. Guidance is the final sign we allele named today, and it is both honor and hazard. People will bring you their crossroads relationships, careers, choices that smell like destiny. They will ask for your map, offer principles instead of control, offer questions that reveal motives, offer stories that illuminate pathways. And after you've spoken, remind them that their life requires their signature. All of these signs, like staring, imitation, confusion, nervousness, validation, fixation on your failures, requests for guidance are not random. They are the ripples of a life that stands in purpose. They are the echoes of a voice that has decided to be clear. Don't romanticize them. Don't fear them. Read them. Then respond with wisdom. Now, let's turn these recognitions into practice. Start with awareness. Notice the patterns without becoming the pattern. When dislike arises, choose not to mirror it. Let your kindness be firm, not flimsy. Set boundaries with clean edges and soft eyes. Not every table deserves your presence. Not every argument deserves your breath. When the staring starts, breathe slower. Inhale for 4, hold 4, hold 4. Exhale for 6. Let your attention widen to the edges of the room. Let your shoulders lower by a finger's width. Release the need to manage other people's reactions. Your job is presence, not performance. When imitation shows up, bless it. Then go create again. Keep moving at the speed of inner honesty. Don't let borrowed versions of you pressure you into becoming a caricature of yourself. When someone copies your method, deepen your motive. When someone echoes your words, refine your witness. When questions come, answer with stories instead of slogans. Share these small decisions that changed big directions. Talk about the day you said no to noise. Talk about the morning you wrote down a boundary and kept it. Make wisdom ordinary. Make wisdom repeatable. When nervousness fills the room, become the slowest person there. Unclench your jaw. Soften your gaze. Let silence do some of the heavy lifting. People don't need more volume. They need more meaning. And meaning is amplified by quiet. When validation is requested, refuse the throne gently. Offer perspective, then point them back to their own alignment. Ask, what does your deepest honesty say? What will you still respect yourself for tomorrow? Give them courage to trust the light inside them. When someone obsesses over your failures, do not audition for their forgiveness. Practice yours. Practice self-respect. Practice steady growth in public and in private. Let your rhythms speak louder than their rumors. Time is a faithful witness. When guidance is sought, bring boundaries with your wisdom. Protect your margin. Protect your moorings. Protect the work that no one sees. You cannot pour meaningfully from an exhausted heart. A chosen life is not a frantic life. It is a focused one. There is a bridge worth crossing here between language and life. Many traditions teach that presence has a field and energy that people can feel even if they cannot name it. Whether you speak of aura or atmosphere, the effect is the same. People sense coherence. People sense congruence. People sense when your inner life and outer life are friends. You don't need science to sanctify that intuition, though some researchers would describe similar effects in terms of attention, mirror responses, and nervous system. The words differ. The experience is familiar. When you are calm, other bodies borrow your calm. When you are clear, other minds borrow your clarity. When you are aligned, other lives, remember, they can align too. So hold your assignment with both reverence and realism. You are not responsible for other people's storms. You are responsible for your steering. You are not responsible for their insecurity. You are responsible for your integrity. Let that binary guide your choices: compassion without compromise, openness without overexposure. Remember the anaphora that trains the heart. When you feel disliked for no reason, choose reasoned love. When you are stared at, choose unhurried posture. When you are imitated, choose deeper originality. When confusion comes, choose patient clarity. When nervousness rises, choose grounded breath. When validation is begged for, choose empowering questions. When your failures are paraded, choose humble persistence. When guidance is requested, choose wise boundaries. Day by day, this is how you carry a chosen life without letting it carry you away. You reduce noise, increase meaning, and make peace your home base. You speak when it helps. You are silent when it heals. You move because love is moving, not because anxiety is barking orders. Now for the daily practice, I promise simple, brief, repeatable. Sit for 60 seconds with your feet on the ground and your hands open. Breathe in for 4, hold 4, breathe out for 6. And notice one thing you can release today. A rumor, a resentment, a role you never asked for. Whisper, I return to my center. Then picture one person who might be watching you for courage. Give them a quiet blessing. Stand up and let your next sentence carry that same blessing. If distraction interrupts, smile and begin again. Every return strengthens your center. If these words served you, thank you for letting them. Tell me in the comments which sign you recognize most right now and what you will do with it tonight. Then subscribe and share this with someone who needs steady encouragement. When you're ready for the next step, watch the video on protecting your peace while your influence grows. It will meet you right where you're standing.